So when you apologize unnecessarily, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't do anything wrong. When you apologize for something that you're not responsible for, that opens you up to be attacked. And along with the lines of saying no, don't explain yourself. You don't need to. That also just opens you up for another attack. No is a complete sentence. You can always say it. You're in charge. It's your body, your mind, your future.
Hello and welcome to day 33 of Awakening to Ascension. Today I will be your host, Janae, and I'm joined with the lovely Marlene and the most epic Alex. And today's topic is mastering energy boundaries and how we can stop absorbing somebody else's energy. So I'd like to just begin with something that some of you may not be aware of. So the heart's electromagnetic field is actually 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. And it is said that you can measure it between 8 to 10 feet away from the body. So essentially, if you are in the radius of others with 10 feet or less, you are absorbing their energy. And what we're going to do today is so myself and Marlene use the analogy of stay in your lane, stay in your car. So today we are going to wind up our windows because it's your car. Nobody's allowed in unless you let them in. And it is the law of physics that two objects will begin to vibrate at the same frequency. And it's usually the most powerful, lower dense one that wins. And I say this from experience. Marlene, she's got the confirmation. So confirmation happens when you get chills in your body, you release through burping, and you hear, well, that's even more confirmation. Marlene is burping at the moment, and Alex is getting chills. So, anywho's, let's get back on topic. So, basically, with the two energies and the frequencies, what I explain to Mason, I always come back to children, because when you can explain to a child in a child's way of understanding, it's really much more simpler for you to acknowledge it and try to grasp the concept. So I explained to him that frequencies, so it's like tuning a radio, right? You get frequencies and you get like, then you off a frequency and then you get the radio station. It's like, la, 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 la. Then you're on the right frequency. But I explained to Mason, when children have not been of a kind nature, so we vibrate at a frequency over here, myself and Mason. And those people of lower vibration, those dense energies, vibrate at a lower frequency. So what I say to him is, if a child is being unkind to you and bullying you and not saying nice things to you, what you could do is you come down and you meet them over here at their frequency. But what will happen is you will join them in being unkind and not nice. So what you need to do, more so in a situation with a low dense vibration, is show them love, because they need love. Love conquers all. And what you do is you remain at your high vibrational frequency. They have absolutely no choice but to meet you at where you are. And that's essentially how we raise the frequencies of one another and in that radius. Now, I just want to touch on one more aspect with regards to the energies and boundaries. The human body and all the cells within the human body, they replace themselves. So the skin replaces itself on average every 27 to 30 days. And the human cells operate on a 13 lunar cycle, so 28 days. Now, when you think of these frequencies, you've shed your skin. Today's 33 days. So we've shed our skin. Now you can grow your new skin back and choose not to have a boundary. And then what will happen is you'll grow the same skin. So you'll repeat the cycle. Instead, grow a new skin so that these low vibrational frequencies can meet you up and also change their skin. Yes, Marlene.
That's awesome. Lovely way of putting it. Thanks, Shanae. What you have spoken about in my terminology for myself and my clients is to actually talk about frequency matching by using what we call entrainment. And that is basically what you were experiencing and putting it into. So what our bodies usually likes to do is, especially as empaths, we want to go to where that person is on that level. Maybe it's sadness, maybe it's stress, but instead of meeting them there, rather become the tuning fork. Hold the frequency that is far higher and allow them to come up to your energy as that tuning fork. Because the higher you vibrate and hold that frequency, the better it is for them to then lift themselves out of their frequency to meet the higher frequency. And the other way of looking at our auric field, imagine you're a satellite dish and you bounce energy. Okay, you're absorbing energy from people, but you need to learn to actually bounce the energy back that does not belong to you and that is harmful to your auric field. So that's like the dish picking up static. You don't want that static. You want to be on that clear resonance. So that's really cool. And then the other thing that's way amazing to do is to imagine that around your auric field, you have a golden mesh. And that golden mesh actually allows through love, higher vibration, and everything that is good for your soul. And anything that is not of that, as soon as it comes through that mesh, the mesh actually dissolves it. So the heaviness, the negativities that we pick up from other people comes through that mesh, but it actually just dissolves. So that's a very cool technique as well. Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, so when Janae mentioned that you'll have two things vibrating and they'll end up matching vibrations, I did get full body chills. And this topic is really important because it's like for empaths especially, right? Like a lot of us are empaths. We feel way more than others do. And she's absolutely right. More often than not, the lower, heavier, denser vibrations will often overtake the higher vibrations. But there's a reason why so many of us have gone through such difficult experiences. It was training, it was conditioning, it was toughening us up because we are the ones that can get wronged and abused and turn around and forgive the other person and meet them with love. And it's maintaining that higher frequency, that higher vibration that will just emit out of us. And just like she said, they have no other choice. If they want to meet us, they can stay down at the low vibe all they want, but they're going to feel some pressure that they're going to want to just naturally rise and meet us where we are. And what you want to do is when you're coming across somebody who you can feel their energy, like maybe they're super sad or depressed, and you want to feel for them, like you have this empathic ability, but that's not your energy. That's not yours to take on. You can let them know that you understand how they feel, but leave it at that. Keep them at arm's distance so that you're not taking on their energy. That's also a very common trait that narcissists can just seek it out. If you're taking on other people's energy, they'll pick you out of a crowd and be like, I'm just going to load them with all my negativity and start convincing them that it's their fault and that they are making mistakes, and then they got you, right? So you got to just draw that boundary. Be like, this is my energy, that is yours. I want to keep myself in my energy, just like you said, like roll up your windows, lock your doors, only let the people in that you choose to let in. And you can do this with intent as well, like just along with the golden mesh that Marlene was talking about. When you imagine something, you're putting intent and attention into it, and that creates a barrier. Janae.
Thanks, Alex. Listen, narcissistic individuals they target those higher frequencies. And the best thing that you can do if you are in the company or in the vicinity of a narcissist, and I speak from very, very high experience, is what they want from you is for you to react and lower your frequency. And the best thing you can do is not do anything, because silence is the sharpest tool. And when you are quiet and silent, you're not feeding them, because they feed off of your energy. So Marlene is confirmationing again. I wanted to say that nowadays something quite crazy is that we are absorbing more information in one day than an individual absorbed in the 1400s in their entire lifetime. And with that being said, a lot of it is coming from social media, which is causing anxiety. It's everything that you're watching. And something that is quite important to note is that 90% of what you feel isn't even yours. So, myself and Marlene, with our Awaken Wave brand, oh, we've got some exciting news coming soon. So, anyways, a tool that we share with regards to this specific high vibrational frequency in a daily practice is what we call a delete button. So, what that is a gallop breath. Because we are entering the year of the fire horse, everything that we do is in alignment with the 13 lunar cycle, the 13-month lunar cycle. And with regards to the breath work, we did it before the podcast, and it's 2 sharp inhales through the nose. So it's, and as you exhale through the mouth, you go. And I think we can practice it for the viewers and the listeners. We're going to just do 10 rounds with a steady, and then 10 rounds where you go faster, and you start to actually feel the energy moving in your body, and you coming back to circulation to your own frequency. So if you would like, you can close your eyes wherever you are. If you're driving or if you're doing something, please don't close your eyes. And we will begin. Take a deep breath in first and exhale through the mouth. And we go. Faster. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. So that is an incredible practice for you to integrate if you are in the presence of these low vibrational frequencies and you need to just have a recharge, reset, delete. You ain't going to get anywhere close to my car right now. That is a really good tool to have. And something else that I'd like to just mention with regards to the 13-month lunar cycle is that So we are currently living in a Gregorian calendar of 12 months. Now, saying no in this old world of 12 months could be construed as rude. So when you say no to somebody, oh, you are so rude, how dare you? But in the new earth of 13-month lunar cycle, saying no is actually a respect and a honor to your being and your sovereignty. Because if you are not in alignment with something and you say no, that is completely and utterly your decision, because you protect your frequency by all means. Yes, Alex.
Yes, saying no is incredibly important. It's like a declaration of self-respect, like Janae just said. And it is also a great way to test where somebody is at. If you just say no to them and they react saying like, "Oh, you're terrible. How dare you? You're being so rude." That's a proof that they're not respecting your boundaries. And if you find yourself around people like maybe you just always feel drained around a certain person and they just pull from you and pull all this stuff from like this energy from you, a clear sign that that person's not meeting you where you are. They're not in your vibration. They're more draining, then you can just know this person's not respecting my boundaries. You can distance yourself from them. It's not a rude thing to do to take care of yourself. Because when you think about it, without you, you don't exist. It's not selfish. It's actually like, because, and also without you, you can't do any good to other people. So, like, you want to take care of yourself. You want to be here. You want to nurture yourself so that you can spread that light and help other people. I guess if you are one of those people that just wants to pull and drain other people, then you could revisit that, take another look at that. But yeah,
So
just
Alex, and we call them energy vampires. Those people that drain the energy from you, they are vampires. And also when somebody is doing that, oh no, you said no, are you being so what? It's projection on themselves, on you.
right. And we have become so conditioned to sugarcoating things for people, right? Like you have to say, oh, but you're a really great person. I just can't do it at this time. And you might make a little white lie why you can't do something. If you reframe that and say, I won't do this, it gives you so much more power. Even if it's something that you physically cannot do, like, no, I won't go to that because I don't want to. It tells your brain that you have control over the situation. So, like, if you said, oh, I can't go, I'm not feeling well, or I don't want to hang out with you because I'm not feeling great, eventually your body is going to start mimicking what you're saying, and you're going to start developing a disease or an ailment that will restrict you from participating in things that you might want to. Yes, Marlene.
That's really awesome. It's exactly as you say there. And the other thing that's most important is before you go to sleep at night, you can do a recall and a decoding before you go to sleep. So before you go to sleep, you think about everybody that you've had any interaction with during the day, and you actually recall all your energy. You pull in all your energy. Instead of doing the energy pulls to take it out, you bring all that energy back and you reframe your body. And then what you do is you decode. So imagine if you have had all of these people and they have straws that they put into your auric field. Like you were saying, that people drain you. It's like those straws have actually sucked out your energy. So what you do is you pull those straws out, excuse me, and you plug those holes so that all of your aura becomes whole again. Those are beautiful things before you go to sleep, to actually then put yourself into a bubble of white light for protection as well. Before you leave your home in the mornings, protect yourself and ask Archangel Michael to put that blue cloak around you, covering from your head to your toes, that you know that anything that doesn't belong to you cannot um, penetrate. And if something should, you return it to sender with consciousness. You don't hold on to it, and don't go into that victim and say, well, what did I do? No, no, it's going back to that boundary thing. Hold your boundaries firm, and you do not have to explain yourself. I was really, really a big one for doing this thing, because I could not just say no. I had to always give an answer and an excuse. I can't because. Now I don't do that anymore. I really have consciously practiced to honor, respect, and love myself enough to not having to do that thing. And it makes a huge difference. And people start to treat you as you teach them how you want to be treated. And that is so vitally important. Janae.
Ah, Marlene. Yes, girl. I want to end with a little quote. So, you think that you are tired because you didn't get enough sleep. That is not the case. You are tired because you've allowed 5,000 people to live in your mind rent free. And we are here to help you serve the eviction notice. I swear, Alex and Marlene literally at the same time, they did like a fist bump. It wasn't a fist pump, it was a fist bump. It went like, pow. Alex.
I mean, how could we not? What she's saying is so right on. These two are so wise, you guys. I love it. And I'm just going to wrap things up by saying, also, when you apologize unnecessarily, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't do anything wrong. When you apologize for something that you're not responsible for, that opens you up to be attacked. And along with the lines of saying no, don't explain yourself. You don't need to. That also just opens you up for another attack. No is a complete sentence. You can always say it. You're in charge. It's your body, your mind, your future. So thank you so much for watching. I would love for you to drop something in the comments of how you practice to place your energetic boundaries. And don't forget to subscribe. We love you and have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time.